What up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In this one, we jumping into some Predecessor. We're gonna go over the Burst Poke Lieutenant Belica build. Now, to be honest, Belica, she's super duper solid for the mid lane and the support lane. In this video, we're gonna be doing her in the mid lane because I think she's super duper strong. Now, to be honest, with this game, there's a couple different builds really that you can do with each character. I would say there's probably about 3 to 5 different builds you can do with each hero, and then based on what lane that you play him in, you know, it does change up the play style. So make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that sub button. We're going to be going over a bunch of different heroes. We're going to be going over the S tier heroes, best heroes to play in different lanes. We're going to be going over how to do different lanes, whether you're doing mid, support, off lane, jungle. So again, make sure you guys hit that sub button so you guys can check out those videos. Now with Belica, I think what makes her really unique is just her poke ability. So number one, with her knock-up, you know, as long as you can hit that and get those pop-ups, you'll definitely be able to not only set up your Void Bomb, but you'll also be able to set up your team. So, you know, we're going to get into her complete overview, how you want to do the abilities, what you want to rank up. And then also we're going to, of course, get into the items, you know, different things that you can build, different things that you can purchase. Now, the cool thing about playing like mid support legends or legends that go into multiple lanes is that you could really play with the builds. So Belica, for example, you can build support items on her, or you can build mage items. I personally pretty much just build mage items if I'm going in the mid lane, but there are a few different support items that you can do that actually makes this character pretty goated, to be honest. Now, when you are in the mid lane, you know, of course, there's probably a couple better heroes than you can pick than her for the mid that have better lane clear. So, for example, Argus has really good lane clear. Gideon also has pretty decent lane clear as well. But once you end up getting her ultimate, to be honest, you can pretty much dominate the mid lane, and then you can get into ganking, you know, looking to the left, looking to the right, trying to pick up some early game kills. Now, one thing I am going to go into too as well is her cooldowns. So with this burst poke build, if you purchase an item, at least one item, I mean, you can go 2 or 3 based on how much cooldown and how fast you want to do your abilities. But I typically go with just one cooldown item, and this literally just changes everything for her. You'll be able to do abilities every 2 to 3 seconds, and then, you know, you'll be ending games, you know, with double-digit kills. I think the highest kills I've gotten on her was 31. I was like 31-3. In this one, I was 13-0. So I definitely think this build, you guys are going to love this one if you like the mid lane. So jumping into the items. Now, as far as the crest, of course, I would go with the Mage crest. You can either go with like the obelisk. You can go with the crown. I personally usually go with like the crown, only because that's going to give you magical life steal. Jumping into the first item, I usually get this one here, the Timewarp. This is what I was talking about with the cooldowns. So not only are you going to be able to get the abilities back faster, but you also get ability haste, which is going to allow your abilities to come out quicker. After that one, I go into the Wraith Leggings. This is going to give us our magical penetration. It's going to give us a little bit more magical power. And then we're going to go into the Megacosm, which is going to give us even more magical power. Now, the cool thing about the Megacosm is you're going to do percentage damage based on the opponent's life. So the more life they have, the more damage that you do. So that's a really good one to pick up. Also, another really good one is going to be the Life Binder. This is going to give you max health. It's going to give you magic power. And on top of that, you'll get even more ability haste. Now, also to the World Breaker, anything with damage amplification. So basically how that works in this game, let's say that you have 2 items that are giving you magical power, and then you get something that gives you damage amplification. Basically what will happen is each time you do your ability, the magical power stacks is going to keep stacking further and further, just allowing you to do more magical damage. Now with the Oblivion Crown, this will probably be the last item that you get. This is going to get you 120 magical power and increase your raw magical power by another 15%. So to be honest, by the time it's all said and done, you know, if your game even lasts long enough for you to do an entire build, you will pretty much be able to one-clip people on Belica with just the pop-up, the Void Bomb, and then the ultimate. Down in the comments, let me know what you guys are doing on Belica. Are you playing her in mid? Are you playing her in support? And then which items are you using on her? Like I said, she is a support slash mage, you know, so ultimately you can go support items on her. The only support item that I use on her is going to be Timewarp for those reduced cooldowns. Everything else is just going to be raw magical power. And then, you know, if you want to go through and kind of look at some of the support items, you know, you can go with the Hex Bound, which is really, really good for restoring mana. Pretty much anything that's going to give you base mana regen, reduce cooldowns, or any additional magical power is what you're looking for under support. Now, as far as her abilities, her passive, she gets additional strength at maximum rank for her abilities. So we're going to play into that a little bit. So the way that I use her, I will upgrade the Seismic Assault first, which is the knockup. Then I'll upgrade the Void Bomb. And then we're just going to keep upgrading Seismic Assault and Void Bomb until those are max. So I actually skip the Void Drone. I don't put any points into it early game. And then we go straight to ultimate. Now basically what you're going to be doing is you're going to just be poking people with the Void Bomb and the Seismic Assault until you get them low enough to ultimate. So it's just going to pretty much be Seismic Assault pop up into Void Bomb, Seismic Assault pop up into Void Bomb. By the time you do 2 of those volleys, they'll probably be low enough, and then you just hit them with the Neural Disruptor, and that's going to be your bread and butter. That's how you're going to get your kills. Now, the main thing with her, I think her biggest strengths are the fact that she goes straight ability damage. So if you can really play to her, if you can really play to the distances of the Seismic Wave and just play to the edge of that knockup, you'll just get straight up free poke on people. So I think for burst poke, especially for mid and for support lane, she's definitely, I would say, top 5 heroes that you can pick if you just want to poke people down and pretty much just support your team. Even if you're playing her in the mid lane, as you can see, you can definitely go pretty crazy with her as long as you're hitting the knockups. Now that same thing that's good for her is also to her weakness. So the thing is, in order to really get a lot of value out of Belica, you have to get pretty close. You know, you have to be able to hit that pop-up, which of course I just missed. But you got to be able to hit that pop-up. So if you're not a player that is focused on abilities, you know, if you want to do more basic damage, there's definitely other heroes that would be a lot more better than her. But if you just want to kind of poke at people, you know, throw void bombs, do knockups, and set up your team, she's definitely a really, really easy legend or really good hero to select. Now, of course, again, like I was saying, there are better mages that you can pick as far as like lane clear, as far as raw damage output. So again, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that sub button. We're going to be going over multiple heroes. We got Argus cooking. We got some jungle heroes cooking. We got some carry heroes cooking. So make sure you guys stick around and look out for that. But like I said, her biggest strengths are also pretty much her biggest weaknesses. So as you see there, you know, you're in there, you're trying to get your knockups. If you get rooted, stunned, or slowed, that's usually when it gets kind of bad because she really has no escape. You have to burn your flicker every single time you get into like a root situation. As opposed to like Gideon, you know, you can dash out. So I think that would probably be her biggest weakness, is getting CC'd, stunned, slowed, anything like that. It kind of makes it hard to get out of there. So again, I personally like Belica. I've dropped 30 kills on her. She's really, really fun to use, easy to use, I would say. Down in the comments, let me know what you guys are doing on Belica, who you guys are using in mid, who you're using in the support lane. I personally think between her, I would say FaZe, and then of course your Guardians like Steel or Richter are probably some of the best supports. So hopefully this video helped you guys out if you're looking to play Belica. As always, I appreciate you guys checking out the vid, and I'll see you on that next one. Peace.